Hi, and welcome to the 6th video of the Synology Solutions Seminars YouTube playlist. As you probably already know if you've watched the other videos, my name is Marcus Cohn, and in this video we will be discussing surveillance and how Synology can work as an effective surveillance solution. So let's get started. Synology's surveillance software allows any Synology NAS to be an all-in-one VMS and NVR solution. We are currently compatible with over 5,900 cameras from 90 plus brands. You can access your surveillance system from anytime, anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection. We even have a mobile application so you can access your system on the go. And if, like many of us, you are unable to view the live stream 24/7, you are able to set up notifications to be sent to email, SMS, or push service. While you are able to access Surveillance Station from a web browser, we have built a native application for Windows and Mac which provides all the same functionality as the web interface. This client will also give you considerably better performance as it is utilizing the compute power of your computer rather than going through a web framework and the NAS itself. I'm going to dive into a quick demo and show you how the client looks and some cool features Surveillance Station offers. Alright, so as you can see here, I am opened up to the Surveillance Station client on my desktop. And in this demo, we're going to be highlighting two different things, IP camera settings and live view settings. Let's first jump into live view. In order to open up the live view, all you got to do is click on the live view button. And as you can see, we currently have one camera connected to our unit that is facing outward from our office here in Seattle, as you can tell with that great Seattle weather. And there's a couple different things we want to highlight here. One is if your camera is PTZ compatible or pan tilt zoom, you are actually able to change where the camera is facing just by clicking on the stream itself. So as you can see, based on where the arrow is pointing, I can change where the camera itself is facing. So it's a very cool feature if your camera can use PTZ or pan tilt zoom. We also want to highlight the layout management. So if you have more than one camera attached to your unit, you're actually able to edit the layout of the cameras themselves in this live view. All you need to do is click this management button, and as you can see, there are a bunch of different options here. You can have a grid view with a focus on specific cameras, but you're able to set it up exactly how you want. So it's very easy to do and very easy to set up. So now that we move away from live view, we're going to be highlighting the IP camera settings section. So if you need to edit the settings of your camera, all you do is click on this IP camera button, and this IP camera window will show up. The first thing you need to be able to do is add a camera. So I'm going to show you how to do this very quickly. All you need to do is click add and add camera. From there you can either choose quick setup or complete setup. I usually choose quick setup as it makes life a little bit easier. You click next and you'll come to the information pane. Now before you select a camera, this will all be entirely blank. And in order to select a camera, you just need to click on this little search button. From there, it will search for all Synology supported cameras as well as general interface ONVIF compliant cameras. As you can see, the camera we have connected is ONVIF compliant. So all you need to do is click this and click OK, and it would autofill all the information on the information page so you can easily connect the camera to your unit. I'm not going to do that as this is already connected, but I just want to show you how easy it was to do. So now that you have your camera set up, you actually want to be able to edit the streams and the various video aspects of it. So what you need to do is select the camera itself, click edit, and edit again. This is where you can edit the specific settings of the camera itself. So you can change the device settings, the recording settings, the live view settings, and even the optimization settings directly through Surveillance Station. We're going to highlight here the device settings and go to video, and this is where we're going to change the overall resolution of the video stream. So if you wanted to move it away from a full 1080 stream, you can move it back to 480 or 720. You can even change the frames per second and as well as the image quality all directly through this one interface. So managing cameras through Surveillance Station is actually very easy. It's very easy to understand and very user intuitive. We're going to move away from the demo here, jump back into the presentation, and keep talking about surveillance and what Synology offers. Now that we've looked at Surveillance Station and how it works, I want to show you a tool that will easily help you narrow down which Synology NAS to use in your NVR solution. This is a very useful tool that will give you a couple different devices that will work for the deployment you have outlined, based on the number of cameras, the days to store, stream resolution, stream frames per second, and video format. If you have not used our NVR selector tool, I highly recommend you do so as it is extremely helpful. Now that you've seen what Surveillance Station can do and some of the features it has, we're going to highlight a solution focusing on a large-scale surveillance deployment. As with all deployments, there are going to be challenges that need to be overcome to make sure it is successful. You need the ability to manage multiple devices in remote locations, as with a large amount of cameras, you will likely need multiple units. Ensuring these units have minimal downtime in case of a failure is crucial as well, as they are recording servers. With a high camera count, you will also need considerable performance out of the unit, both in general compute power and bandwidth. Coupled with this, as your storage needs grow, you need the ability to expand your storage. Luckily, with the Synology NAS, all this becomes very easy. We're going to start out with discussing our central management system for Surveillance Station. You may have already heard me talk about centralized management for our NAS devices, however, this is entirely separate. This is CMS for Surveillance Station, where one host server controls multiple recording servers in different locations. You are able to organize the cameras into groups as you have full live view and playback capabilities on the host server. CMS, Centralized Management System, supports Synology's Quick Connect and HTTPS, so you know the streams between the units are secure. When utilizing our CMS software in a surveillance application, it also has the ability to designate one failover server. Now, as you can see, this one server is acting as a failover for 3 different recording servers. So let's say that this recording server goes down. The CMS host will automatically reassign the streams to be sent to the failover server so you can make sure you have minimal downtime. This drastically lowers the initial hardware cost, as you do not have to buy each recording server twice and implement high availability. This essentially doubles the cost if you implement high availability. But the failover and redundancy is all handled through the user-friendly CMS interface, so it is very easy to set up and manage and set up different failover conditions so that you can specify what will trigger the failover process. You will also typically see better system resource utilization out of your NAS devices as well. So if you want to have a good level of failover and redundancy in your recording deployment, please utilize CMS and this failover and redundancy option, as you can drastically decrease the initial hardware cost and have that level of redundancy that you're looking for. So as we mentioned before, IP cameras have considerable bandwidth and CPU requirements to work as intended. While this may be the case, we want to try and conserve as much bandwidth as possible when the recordings are not as important. So as you can see here, we have a setup with 49 separate streams, all coming to this single unit. It is not very efficient to view each of these live streams at 1080p, as that would require significant network overhead. It would be like trying to load 49 1080p YouTube videos all at the same time. Instead, you can have the live view at a lower resolution in grid view, and by utilizing multiple streams, you're able to change the stream quality to HD when that camera feed is switched to full screen. Once you switch it back to grid view, it will go back to standard definition. In a different scenario, you can see that we have 4 streams currently set at 480p. When an event is triggered in the top left stream, the feed automatically switches to 1080p so you can get as much detail as possible. Once the event has ended, it will switch back to 480p as configured. These 2 configurations allow you to conserve your bandwidth and storage, as they are only recording in high definition when needed and applicable. As your storage needs grow, you may need to add additional storage to your unit. Luckily, many Synology NAS devices have the capability to expand the amount of drives available. The expansion process does not require a unit shutdown or any service interruptions, and you can either expand the current volume or create a new one on the expansion unit. This gives you the ability to scale as needed and to add that additional storage as you see fit. So as you probably know, we like to highlight real-world use cases as much as possible. In this case, we are going to discuss the Holiday Inn and their surveillance solution. They are currently using 17 Synology units that are managing 560 cameras and are using this to monitor 3 hotels all at the same time. As you can see, Surveillance Station and Synology NAS devices can expand and scale very well, even with a very high quantity of cameras. And with that, we come to the end of the 6th video of the Synology Solutions Seminars YouTube playlist. We discussed Synology's surveillance offering, as well as how our software solutions can ease many challenges faced when implementing a large-scale surveillance solution. Thank you for listening. Sit tight as we get started with the last video of the playlist.